Hi, this is Joe Wos from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the United States of America. I'm delighted to be here at the Lakes Comic Arts Festival. I hope to visit you in person soon. But this will be the next best thing, a little bit of video about what I do. I am the resident cartoonist at the Charles M. Schulz Museum. I am a teacher, I'm a storyteller, but I am perhaps best known for my mazes. I set the world record for the world's largest hand-drawn maze. I have a series of best-selling maze books, and also I have a syndicated feature called Mazetoons that appears in newspapers all over the world. And today I'm going to show you a little bit about my process of how I create cartoon illustrated mazes. And what really sets my mazes apart is the fact that you can actually go through the illustrations. Okay, I'll show you an example. Let me go ahead and switch over to my Wacom tablet. There we go. So this is one of my Sunday mazes right here. So the Sunday mazes are a little bit larger, and you start at the start and have to, of course, make your way through to the finish. But you also go through the robot and the little robotic bird and the flowers and so forth. So that's an example of a Sunday, but today I'm working on a daily. Now, I admit I'm a little bit behind schedule. Actually, I'm a lot behind schedule, to tell you the truth. The Sundays have to turn about a month and a half to 2 months ahead of schedule. I'm not too far off on that, but I am behind on my dailies. My dailies supposed to turn in a couple weeks ahead. I'm right at that. So what I do is I got to figure out the date that I have next, which looks like it's September 14th. And I actually work, as you can see on the screen, I work in layers. There is a layer for the box, that's the frame of the panel on dailies. I also have a layer for my signature, a layer for the copyright, a layer for the date, and then my working layer, or layer 1. The pen I use, the stylus here is I work on a Wacom tablet, and I use a pen, it's the stylus I use. And the style of pen I use is called a Belgian. It's sort of a triangular brush. I use that partly because I love the way the line looks, and my biggest influences growing up, besides Charles M. Schulz, was Peyo, the creator of the Smurfs. And I loved how bold his lines looked. And I just absolutely love that, and I've always wanted to sort of replicate that, and so that's why I use that particular style. So I look here, I've got my date 9/14. So next I do is I pull up my database. I'm going to actually bring that down to here. This is my database, and it lists, you'll see some interesting things. If you scroll through here, I have the mazes uploaded, and then a little check mark to tell me that they're sent. And then I have the date. And then you'll see something called holiday or event. A lot of my mazes, because I have to do a different topic every day, will be based on national and international holidays. So if it's World Beard Day, I might draw some with a beard. Video Game Day, Uncle Sam Day here in the United States. Let's see, Ampersand Day. And I draw, different things based on that. Sometimes I just draw random abstracts. Sometimes I just draw random animals or creatures. So we need to pick a maze for September 14th. And, oh, what's that say right there? It says Joe's 50th, which also happens to be Live Creative Day. So it's actually September 14th is my 50th birthday. So I think I've got to draw something celebrating my 50th birthday. I think that's exactly what I'll do. So I set my pen to about 20 is what I like the size to be. I'm going to put my start up here. Now for my start and finish, I just use the letters S and F. Okay, so I use the letters S and F. So I use S for start. And I'll just get my path sort of going a little bit. So that's my main path up there, but I can use either or. And you'll see what I do when I'm making these paths is I'm actually splitting off and starting new paths. And I have what I call the lead path. And then I have these extra paths that are sort of like backups. If I make a mistake, I can sort of go to those. But most of those will become dead ends. So this will become a dead end here. We'll throw in a spiral. All right. So I'm going to work from here. Now I'm going to sort of work in my illustration. 50th birthday for B. So let's draw a birthday cake. Now you're going to notice something really interesting about the way I draw. There's these gaps in the drawings. Now those gaps are in case I want to add, make the paths for the mazes. So I sort of plan ahead a little bit. So I have a 5 and then a 0 for a 50. Adding a little bit of depth there. Turn those into candles. All right, and we're going to write happy birthday Joe. That's me. What an egocentric maze this is, but okay. So now I've got to get the pass to go through all this stuff. And I need to be, let's see, would I be, let's see if I want to add me over here. Yeah, I am. I'm going to add you see, I'm starting to draw my glasses. Let's fill that in. And then my eyebrows, or my defining feature there, my eyebrows. Don't have much hair, a little bit on top there. Weird. So there I am sneaking into the maze. All right. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this line here, right in between, and turn it into a path, and then so you can pop out my nose on that line. See how that works? Yeah. Then I can sort of close this off a bit more. My ears sticking out on that side. A little bit of hair. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to continue on with the maze part of all this. So I can go through the head. I can come back out here if I choose to, but that's going to be a dead end. So right now my main path is right here at the nose. Okay. I'm going to be, let's see, how do I want to do this? Oh, I'm going to have my arm right here. And a hand. Close that off. And you can see there's a lot of just opening and closing different paths as I go. So I'm going to go up through the cake. And then out this number 0 here. So this, I hope this is one of the biggest questions I get when I'm drawing mazes is, do you figure out the path first and then sort of fill it all in, or how do you do that? Well, there's no rhyme or reason. It just sort of, I let the path lead me as I go and hope it comes out right. Now, that being said, there is one little trick I'd like to share. You see, a lot of people, when they solve mazes, they start from the finish because it's easier if you start from the finish because there's only one path coming out of the finish, but multiple paths leading out of the start in most mazes. So I draw my mazes halfway, well, a little over halfway I get done, and then I start working backwards from the finish, which makes my mazes a little bit tougher for those who are used to cheating. So you do run into dead ends if you work backwards. Most mazes don't do that, but I like to. Okay. So there we have the maze itself. I'm going to go in and clean up just a few little lines here, like on my start there. I don't like that line. I got to clean that up a little, just a little. And then I'm just going to make sure everything I need closed up and cleaned off is done. That looks pretty good. All right. Is it solvable? I need to make sure I can actually solve the maze. You'd be surprised how many times I draw a maze and then go, oh no, I can't solve it. So working backwards is how I generally figure out how to solve a maze. Boom, there we go. That maze is solvable. So then I flatten my image. Okay, and then I have to save this first file as a very specific file name, Maz091420. So that's the date and the year. And so forth, and then I add the word line because this is black and white. Some newspapers run my work in black and white, some run them in color. Online, of course, they run in color. I save that as a TIFF file. All right, now I'm going to convert that to RGB color and then duplicate my layer or copy it. Select everything that is white by selecting Slimmer, and then hitting Edit. Clear. Bye-bye. Working in my background layer, now I add the color. So first thing I'm going to do all sort of the flesh tones here. And what I have to do is I have to close off all my gaps. Okay, so closing off all the gaps here. making sure anything that I'm going to color with a flesh tone is closed off. There we go. That looks good. Good, good, and good. Maybe a little bit of touch up here. Excellent. Gray in the beard. And mustache, that I'm going to do not with a fill, but with just coloring it in like this. Because I want there to be a little bit of white in there too. For the nose, I'm going to go with a little brighter pink color. And then I'm going to come back, and what I'm going to do is color in the hands. All right. Now my start and finish, the finish is always red. And the start is always yellow. That's so even if you, if you can't read or don't know your letters, or if it's in a different language, you know that those color codes are always the same. All right. Little flame here. Let's add a little bit there. A little red. All right. The icing here. Let's go with pink icing. Oops. See, that's what happens if you don't close off your little gaps there. Now, I'm going to so long as there's not a black line, then you can go through it. So this pink color that I'm forming here, that line, you're still able to go through that in the drawing. Pants. Let's go with sort of a turquoise color here. I have a certain palette of colors I seem to like. I do own red shoes, so I will go ahead and make the feet red. And, maybe a bright yellow shirt. Here we go. All right. A few more things to color in here. I've got the cake itself, which I'm going to go with sort of a light yellow. Like that. Got a shade in behind the letters. Joe, J-O-E. Let's make the candles. Yes, I really will be 50 on September 14th. I'm looking forward to it. I was hoping to spend my 50th birthday actually in the UK, but sadly it didn't work out, so I sure hope you will have me back next year. I'd love to visit. Okay. I've got the sleeve to color in, so it's just a lot of coloring in. And then what I do is I'm going to color in what is essentially the background gaps. I'm going to go with sort of this pinkish color, this bright, yeah, see that color there? I like that. Now I got to be careful because so I'm looking for anything that's sort of closed off like that. And then I'm going to add a few more. These are just, I call these color fields. They're just little fields of color just to break up the maze a little bit. Good. Okay, so next, one more right there. Let's do that one too. There we go. Next, I add in another layer, and this is my shadow layer. So I knock the opacity down to 47%. I select the color I want to add a shadow, and I darken that up, and then I work in the shadows. Like this. And I don't work in what would probably be considered true shadows. I sort of just go, well, this looks good. I think about where the light source is coming from and where my shadow would fall. It's not always accurate, but it generally does look pretty good. Again, darken that up. I also want to just add in a little color in the cheeks there. Okay, good. Now I've got the cake. Let's see. There we go. I just got one last little shadow to put under the nose there. Like that. And that's it. Happy birthday. Let's see. Do I want to add a little bit of dark blue? Yeah, I'll just add just a hint of shadow here on these numbers. And then I flatten that layer. Flatten all the layers down. And this gets saved as same file name, but then I add the word color. And that gets saved as a JPEG. So there it is. There's the maze that'll run on September 14th, my 50th birthday. And that's the process of how I make my daily mazes. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned a little bit about my process. I want to thank Wacom for supplying me with this wonderful tablet that has been just a career changer for me. I love working digitally. I do still draw by hand with paper and pen now and then, especially when I'm doing live drawings or I'm doing drawings for kids or signing books and stuff like that too. So it's been great fun visiting you. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about my process. I hope to see you again real soon, so stay tuned. Thanks, everybody. Have a great time online at the festival. Bye-bye.